Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining our first webinar looking at how to grow team effectiveness with OKRs. My name is Phil Bush. I am the founder of the Inspired Solution, and our 15-minute session today will give some quick and easy tips for team check-ins. So let's crack on so I can give you an overview of what we will cover today. Firstly, I'll set the context of team check-ins in terms of your OKR yearly calendar. I'll talk a little bit about why we should run these check-ins and at this level of frequency. To help you get the most from the check-ins, I'll pick up about where responsibility lies for the objective, the key result, and the initiative owners. I'll give you some general tips for running a check-in meeting. Then I'll show you the data that you need to run an effective check-in, and I'll be using a great solution today called Tability. And finally, I'll leave you with a suggested agenda for how you can run your check-ins. So, in my experience and in your experience, we know organizations will have a 3 to 5 year strategy, and then they will have an annual plan at the start of each year to ensure they execute on that strategy. Organizations will then often break the year down into quartiles, so 3 monthly periods, or tertiles, 4 monthly periods. So importantly, the planning takes place at the start of each quarter using the learning from the retrospective at the end of the previous quarter. So here you see on this diagram, I've split it up into quartiles, and you have the annual OKR, the quarterly OKR retrospective in black, and then the quarterly planning in gold after that. So you have these key periods throughout the year. Then during the periods, teams need to be having regular weekly or bi-weekly check-ins. This frequent and regular check-in process will enable individuals and teams to execute their initiatives, update their progress, reflect on their success and or challenges, and then take any learnings from that into the next week or 2-week period before the next check-in. And this regular and frequent check-in needs to happen because it enables teams to share progress and success. And that's important that we celebrate that. It's also useful for the people that are owning the key results and the initiatives to highlight any challenges or any help that's required in order to progress those. It's important to look at and discuss the priorities for the coming week or 2 weeks, which will best benefit the achievement of the objectives. Also, when you've got this level of frequency, what you can do is you can flag up if there are any conflicting priorities or challenges, and you can discuss any external factors which may impact the OKR progress. Now, this final point that I've got here around the time during the quarter to reprioritize and pivot is really important. Because if you're updating any less frequently, your ability to flag up challenges, ask for help, reprioritize is so much more difficult. Now, I do know organizations that only have monthly check-ins, but imagine you set your OKRs on the 1st of July, you have your first check-in on the 1st of August, and in that check-in, you make some changes, you shift some things around, some people need some help. You then make a second check-in on the 1st of September, and then you run your retrospective for the quarter 3 weeks later. So you have so much more flexibility to ask for help, to put in plans to reprioritize when you're discussing your OKRs weekly or bi-weekly. So some quick tips. It's all in the planning and setting of routines. My coaching would be to get stuff in the diary at the start of the quarter, so everybody knows when the check-ins, retrospectives, and upcoming planning is due to take place. This also shows the level of importance that you're placing on these sessions. Build psychological safety in the team by allowing different members of the team to run check-ins. And I'll share a sample of the agenda at the end of the session. Ensure the key result owners and contributors are prepped in advance of the check-in. And I'll come on to this in the next slide. It's important also to keep to your current meeting cycle if possible. Nobody needs any more meetings, and you can keep this OKR check-in to between 15 and 30 minutes. As I said, celebrate what's gone well over the past week or 2 weeks, and then move on quickly so that you can focus on those OKRs that either are going off track or at risk. And then importantly, because you're just focusing on those, you keep to the time that you've allocated. If you do require more time, then take the meeting offline with the key result owner or the people running the initiatives, because it often doesn't require everyone in the team to be part of that conversation, especially if that key result owner is fully prepared. Now, talking about being prepared. Let's look at OKR ownership and contribution. So objective owners coordinate the activity for their objective and should be on top of the progress of the key results contributing to their objective and ensure they know the progress of each. The key result owner, who could be and often should be different to the objective owner, coordinates those initiatives and activities that contribute to the achievement of the key result, which of course is ultimately contributing to the achievement of the objective. Now, these key result owners need to come to the check-in fully prepared to let their team know the status and progress of their key results, which are at risk or going off track. The OKR contributor supports where necessary and will often be running or supporting the initiatives or activities which help the key result to be achieved. Now, let's just talk a little bit about workload and OKRs. Remember, each team should have 3 to 5 objectives maximum. Each objective should have 3 to 5 key results maximum. OKRs are about focus and priorities. They're not business as usual. So if you have any more than 5 objectives or key results, they're not priorities. And you won't be able to coordinate the activities for a huge number of key results. And nor should you, because this goes against the purpose of OKRs. So let's see what information is helpful when you're preparing for a check-in and how to really make access to information super easy for individuals and teams. Now, I've worked with a number of OKR tools, and Tability, the one I'm going to share with you today, is a breeze to use and gives you all the information you need for your check-in. Now, I also know from experience when you're doing a walkthrough of OKR software, it often comes so quickly that you miss some of the key parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a short video, and I've got a couple of screenshots where I've labeled some of the key areas in Tability. And then what I'll do is I'll provide the website to Tability. So if you want more information about this great piece of software at the end of the webinar. So let me now show you Tability, walk you through and show how easy it is to create a check-in and see the progress and status of those initiatives that are contributing to your key result. So you see when I log in, you get to My Focus. And here are the key results and initiatives that I'm owning and contributing to. And I'm also alerted to the key results that need updating. So if I click on a key result that needs updating to do a check-in, you will see it's very easy for me to create a check-in within Tability. I can also, as you see, I can skip creating a check-in. Now, as we look through, you can see that I have the progress of all the initiatives and their status. The contributors or initiative owners need to have these updated, and I can follow up with them if not, so that I'm fully prepared to update the team on the progress of my key results. Now, when I choose to create my check-in, I can comment on the progress, update the outcome-based metric as necessary, update my confidence, is it on track, at risk, or off track? And this one was yellow, so that means it's at risk. And remember, the focus of the discussion in your check-ins will be those key results that are either at risk or off track. So let's look at a key result that is at risk. So you can see we have the objective and key result at the top of the screen. And this key result has to hand all the information I need to share with the team when I go to the check-in. We know it's flagged as at risk because the bar is yellow. And if you look, you can see I have the information about the previous check-ins instability throughout the period. I can see what's happening with the initiatives and any challenges. And of course, if I need more information, I contact the person who is responsible for each initiative because I can see the status of them. And I can ensure I know if any help is needed, why progress has or hasn't been made, and discuss if we need to reprioritize. So this means as a key result owner, when I go to the team check-in, I'm fully prepared with the right information. And that really helps keep that OKR check-in to time. Here we see a key result that's on track, and we know it's on track because the bar here is green. And it's important to celebrate those so I can take this information with me and I can share this with the team at the check-in. So this is stability. So let's wrap up and share with you a sample check-in agenda. So in my experience, helping teams with their check-ins, the main challenge was building the routine. And that's why I recommend getting stuff in the diary. So 15 to 30 minute agenda here. And here is one suggestion for how you might want to run the meeting. So it's not an onerous task for people. So point number one, celebrate the green key results, move on. Review those key results that are at risk or off track. Then work through with the key results prepared so that when they're discussing those key results that are at risk or off track, they have answered these questions so they know the status of the initiatives before the meeting, and they're not pondering and trying to come up with answers for these during the meeting. What has the progress been? What is the confidence level in terms of achieving that OKR this week? Is help needed? If so, from whom? What help specifically? Are there any new challenges that they've thought about which may prevent the movement forward of that key result throughout the week or 2 weeks? Next, what are the team priorities and challenges for the coming weeks? So flag these up. Is anyone on vacation? Is anyone off sick? Do we need to shift priorities because somebody has flagged up that they need help with their initiatives? Finally, look outside of the team. Are there any unit or organizational changes happening? Is there something outside of the organization, economically, financially, politically, that could impact what's happening within the team? And remember, if a conversation feels like it's going to take too long, take it offline. And then you wrap the meeting up. Please follow the call to action buttons at the end of the webinar, and that will take you to my website where there are a number of free OKR resources, and you can download those, including the suggested OKR agenda. If you have any questions about the content today or OKRs in general, please feel free to email me, info@redefinesuccess.org. I will make this webinar available on LinkedIn and via my website. And if you've enjoyed this webinar, please let me know. Follow me on LinkedIn and stay tuned on all the usual channels for information on the next one. And that's it. Thank you so much for your time today.